Good evening. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Tuesday evening. Cloud cover is finally gone. Finally. Took a while. And sunshine will win over and clear skies tonight, except, unfortunately, we will likely deal with some fog. We'll get to that in just a minute. Check of the I-20 traffic cameras. Traffic seems to be moving a little sluggish in the westbound lanes in the eastern sections of Monroe. Part of that's probably because the sun is setting directly in their faces, and part of it's also probably because of volume. So just be aware of that if you're hitting the roads here shortly. A check of what's going on with the help of the infrared satellite. And again, as you loop it over the last couple of hours, and really we've seen a pretty dramatic clearing in a lot of the cloud cover, but there are still some high clouds out, making for a somewhat picturesque sunset across the region. Radar is always made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. Where is my clicker? Gotta turn it on, you doofus. Schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. And turn on your clicker. If you're going to buy a clicker, it comes with batteries. Just turn the dadgum thing on. Nothing on the radar. Here's a look at the high temperatures since midnight, so basically our afternoon highs. Some spots were still pretty close to those at the top of the hour. 52 in El Dorado, 53 in Monroe, 56 in Natchez. Considering we were in the 30s, even through the late morning hours, this was quite the achievement. So we'll take that. Current temperatures as the sun starts to set on this Tuesday, already falling into the upper 40s in El Dorado, 51 in Monroe, 51 in Natchez, 50 in Vicksburg. Most locations will fall pretty quickly tonight into the low 40s, maybe even the upper 30s, and then temperatures will level out as the southerly winds start to pick back up. And it paves the way to the patchy fog possibilities overnight. In fact, here's a look at the temperatures and futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. Again, shows by about 3 a.m. Temperatures kind of bottom out. Most of us low to mid-40s. Good evening, Janice and Kay. Thank you so much for joining in. And the winds are generally out of the south and southwest. As we go through the day tomorrow, a weak boundary approaches the area through the late morning hours, mid to late morning hours, 8:30, 9, 10 o'clock sometime during that time frame, and the winds swing back around to the west. The boundary itself passes through early in the day, but you'll note that we still warm up nicely through the afternoon, and it isn't until late in the afternoon, until those stronger northwesterly winds start to pull in, that we actually start to see the cooler air filter in. And it's not dramatically cooler. Most of us fall back into the 30s for the morning hours on Thursday, and then we're probably back into the 60s on the back of southerly and southwesterly winds and a lot of sunshine and a fairly dry environment as we go through the day on Thursday. And then eventually we will see the cloud cover and the rain chances start to sneak back in for Saturday. Most of it's fairly scattered. Dew points right now generally in the mid to upper 30s. We do pave the way with the light winds overnight. Most of those are out of the south. For the potential for fog formation, visibility looks to kind of decrease across our southern and western parishes by midnight or shortly thereafter. And then that fog likely to continue to spread farther north and northeastward to the I-20 corridor, Mississippi Valley, maybe even into far southern Arkansas by around sunrise or shortly before tomorrow morning. And by mid to late morning, most of it should be generally gone. But that looks to be the big hazard tonight. Not a huge hazard, but just be aware. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have app downloaders, app users, don't be surprised if you get dinged with a dense fog advisory later tonight. Full disclosure, if you don't like those alerts, or if the rain incoming alerts or something like that, you're just getting too many of them, you can disable each specific alert and just go by each location in the locations menu. Select the specific location and you can go down and uncheck those if you so choose. Because again, I know a lot of those are issued at 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and you wake up and you're like, what weather alert am I getting? And then it's fog and you're like, oh, I could have woke up to that. But again, some folks need to know that to plan their day accordingly. Jessica, May, good evening to you. As we go through the next few days, high pressure at the surface moves east. Again, allows for that the fog to roll back in tomorrow morning. Along with that, I would expect some degree of cloud cover through the course of the day as the frontal boundary makes its way through. Skies will clear as we go through the day on Thursday. High pressure sets in, at least temporarily, along the northern Gulf coastline. Makes for a pretty nice day on Thursday. Next boundary approaches but stalls Friday afternoon. That boundary gets pushed back to the north as a warm front. We stay warm through the day on Saturday. Maybe a few scattered showers late as our next cold front approaches. That one probably bringing some cooler air for the end of the weekend and the first of next week. And that's pretty much how things set up. Lows tonight will fall back again to near 40. That'll be probably around midnight or shortly thereafter. Upper 30s are not out of the question, especially if we can see temperatures fall relatively quickly in the short term. And yes, we finally saw sunshine. How about that? And we'll get some more tomorrow, too, which is good news. Winds will be out of the south. Again, be aware of the fog potential. Daytime highs tomorrow back into the 60s, if that's hard to believe. Believe it. Warmer, a smidge breezy at times. I've got the winds out of the southwest 5 to 10, but I wouldn't be surprised to maybe get 10 to 12 mile an hour winds at times through the course of the afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. Overall, should be a very nice day. A look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. Again, most of us at least a little bit cooler for Thursday, upper 50s to near 60, with morning lows back into the 30s for a lot of us. A warming trend carrying us to near 70 on Saturday, but the front arrives late in the day. Could bring some scattered showers Saturday night into Sunday. Cooler temperatures will follow with highs in the 50s, lows back in the 30s and 40s for the early parts of next week. Could be dealing with a storm system next Wednesday, Thursday-ish. That could bring some rainfall, maybe some thunderstorms, depending on where temperatures are. But that's a long way from here. Matus, good evening to you as well. So that's how things shape up for... Turn the clicker off so I don't burn the battery. And I'll forget to turn it on next time I use it tomorrow morning. But that's a look at how things shape up as we go through the rest of this evening. Ethel, good evening to you. As we go through the middle parts of the month, there's not a whole lot happening. Like I said, I've been taking a lot of this time to do a lot of behind-the-scenes work, essentially adding equipment that I didn't realize I needed at launch, and now I'm realizing more and more that I do need clickers, teleprompters, things like that, just so I feel a little bit more comfortable and engaging with you. A lot of folks go, you've been doing weather for 20 years. This is no different. This is very different, and being comfortable makes it easier to convey information to you guys. Another thing that we'll be working on shortly, obviously, as we get into the holiday season, travel and things like that, I will be able to work remotely, and I plan to. Vacations, things like that. I mean, you guys need weather information, and this is a one-person show, so I'm prepared to take a lot of equipment with me for that type of stuff. So tomorrow's that task of trying to set up. So if you see a weird live stream start kind of at an off time and you're like, what's he doing? And I'm like outside or something, you'll know why. That's why. Just testing stuff out. Make sure that I have everything I need as we get ready to travel and all that stuff. All right, that's it. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Fishing game comes out at 8 o'clock tonight. That's made possible by First South Farm Credit. And then I'll join you first thing tomorrow morning as we take a look at temperatures and rain chances and all that stuff going into the weekend. Again, aside from that, the fog will probably be our biggest issue, so exercise caution. If you join this live stream late, obviously, this thing will, after we wrap up, will finalize, format, and all that stuff, and be right back out, and you can skip through and see what you need to see. But a pretty brief look at the forecast as we set up for this Tuesday evening. A little on the chilly side, a little on the foggy side. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. Thanks for making this part of your day and part of your routine, and we'll check in with you tomorrow morning.